It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And coming up next, it's a cross-conference showdown. It's the Chicago Bears and the Kansas City Chiefs. Next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in a very rainy Kansas City, Missouri at venerable GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium. Welcome again, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Kansas City. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll go play action here with Williams. Throw right side, taken in by Adunze. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down now.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's Williams. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Williams from the gun on 3rd down. That is caught, and he will have the Bears' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, you want to make sure that on an opening drive that you at least stay out there for a while and get into the flow of the game. A 3-and-out would have been problematic, but that's a good throw there to ensure they get another set of downs.
They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Now a 2nd and 2. Off the play fake, it's Williams. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
Throwing is Williams. That's over the middle and caught by the rookie. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A huge play there for Chicago. 46 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. To throw, Williams. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. Swift is into the end zone for a Bears touchdown.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Mahomes going to throw. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still 3rd down.
Not ideal there. That delay of game backs them up 5 yards, so now they need 7 yards on 3rd down. The tight end in motion right. Now Mahomes. He's going to find his tight end Gray complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
They'll run for the first time with Kareem Hunt. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That play doomed from the start thanks to the defensive effort of Grady Jarrett.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Dayo Odangbo. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. He'll drop to throw. It's Kelsey on the ground. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
They'll fake the give. Now Williams. There's a short throw. It's caught by Komet.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. From the 25, here's a 2nd and 8. To the air, Williams. That's to the speedster Olamide Zaccheaus. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Here's 2nd and 10. Swift going to try up the middle. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. They'll come up now, 3rd and 9. To throw, it's Williams. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That one 28 yards on the ground.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
In motion left goes a tight end. And they'll accept that penalty.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. To throw, it's Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Now here's Mahomes. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 41-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On play action, it's Mahomes. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down. And again, it's Mahomes. Oh, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. It's Gervon Dexter who got in to drop him.
And another long drive from the offense, but the defense is denying them the end zone. Nothing to show for the last drive offensively. They can't come away empty-handed again.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. They're going to look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jervon Dexter drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Matt Araiza now on to punt this one away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Swift. He works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
From the 22 now, here's 2nd and 6. Looking to throw is Williams. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw, Williams. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. A strong pickup of 11 keeps their drive alive. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. As they've got it as we resume action. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 yards there for number 15.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 39-yard line. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. The offense on third down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. KC's offense ready to take over. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
Still 2nd down.
Following the delay, here's 2nd and 9. Mahomes now to throw. That's caught right side by Worthy. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here's Matt Ariza now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what you do best.
On the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Across midfield and all the way down to the 41-yard line. 69 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Boy, 30 more yards and another first down.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's Williams. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Durham Smythe, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Bears are able to extend their lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Now the point after try for Santos. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Chiefs offense set to go. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
2nd and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And that went to the right side and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a 4th down.
He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Chicago offense set to get started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 90 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing is Williams. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential, but when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Now 2nd and 9. To throw, Williams. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And out come the Chiefs now. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it. I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that they've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it, or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball, because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Nick Bolton there on the tackle.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
From the 21, here's 2nd and 9. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You've got to cash in and get some points.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Williams. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he comes back with one complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. To the air once more, Williams. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On is Santos for the Bears field goal. This just a 24-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. They're in a bit of a bind, a pretty big bind, down 20-0 as they start here on 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That is caught downfield. It's Worthy. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Xavier Worthy, 74 yards. And the Chiefs are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bears offense and running back DeAndre Swift headed back onto the field. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Williams. He's got the connection to Moore. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. To the air, Williams. Touchdown Bears! DJ Moore, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Bears will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Santos now to add the PAT. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it concludes with a touchdown reception by DJ Moore. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Chiefs going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's a second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. Now Mahomes. Got a man over the middle, Worthy. Now another timeout called for by the offense as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Mahomes. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. There for the tackle was Trent McDuffie. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We watched a solid performance out of running back DeAndre Swift. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And the Chiefs offense ready to go again. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. They run it with Pacheco from the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
Well, if they have any designs on getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense and Caleb Williams set to go to work once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Working out of the gun, Williams. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They run out of the gun with Swift. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the 1st.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Williams. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Here's a handoff to Swift. And some room to maneuver. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 129 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Perfect execution on that inside handoff, and then a little will, a little brute strength to move forward after the contact.
What do we call that now in today's NFL? Heck, in today's football? Contact balance, right? That's the buzzword, the phrase you hear.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Mike Pennell able to run it down for a loss of a yard.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. They'll go play action here with Williams. And that one too wide and incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the Bears are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Back to throw. Williams. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. To throw once more, here's Williams. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Nick Bolton. And the Chiefs are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up first and 10 at their own 11. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. Now here's Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on here to punt it away. "51 yards on the punt there. And the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. Looking to throw is Williams. Looking middle, and that's complete. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he'll get it inside the 35.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Williams. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will have the Bears first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
2nd and 9. Off the play fake, it's Williams. And oh, that would get a wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
Whenever I see an in route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So that's 3 field goals for him now, but heck, he's not even halfway to his career best of 7.
Seems like the 7 field goal games are the kind of games I always get assigned to in my other job. Let's hope for this offense's sake they can start cashing in on a few of these drives.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Chiefs ready to rock again on offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand They've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. In motion, the tight end, Kelce. From midfield, here's Mahomes. Short throw hauled in by Kelce. And Kelce's going to have a Chiefs 1st down as he'll get this down to the 41. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
On the handoff, it's Pacheco. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. Mahomes going to fire quickly to Worthy. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Mahomes now to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. On play action, it's Mahomes. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. That is caught. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their...
And Brown's got it for a Chiefs touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab, and the Chiefs are able to cut into that deficit. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Mahomes will throw for it. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've been pretty anemic on this side of the football in the second half, just 3 points, and you just saw the touchdown go the other way, so it's a 2-score game. We're not done here yet.
I think everyone's on the edge of their seats now because they're anticipating what's coming, and I sense that everyone in the stadium knows they need to keep it on the ground. So if you're going to do that, hope the quarterback is stretched a little bit. Some bootlegs, right? Some fakes inside, getting out to the perimeter. Those might be open for him.
Right back to Swift again on second down. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
And this is the worry, because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important third down.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Throwing is Williams. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big third down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. He'll look to throw. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And they'll be stopped at the 28 on a play that started at the 14. They pick up 14.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up. They've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Here's Mahomes to throw. Open man right side is Rice. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand A field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Mahomes got to have this one. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Mahomes again. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Play clock all the way to 0. Didn't get the snap off. 5-yard penalty.
And you see the head coach writing that note on his play sheet right now. He's going to be addressing that with his staff. A sense of urgency. Get to the line of scrimmage. Snap the ball.
Mahomes going to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Throwing now is Mahomes. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes. This will be caught inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 15 yards there on the play as they try to chip away at this 15-point deficit. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's complete, left side to Worthy. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And the Chicago defense able to come up with a goal line stand. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
2nd down and 8. To throw, it's Williams. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That'll give them 8 that time, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball, but route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
To the air, Williams. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. The Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes headed back onto the field. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And this pass caught by Gray. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You've got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Now here's Mahomes. Looking for Gray and finding him once again. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the 1st tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Mahomes to throw once more. That's into the hands of Worthy. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Mahomes now to throw. Dancing to his left. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Here's 1st and goal. Back to throw. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Rashee Rice, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. So this now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a 1-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. And it's good, so that will get them back within 1 score. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The visitors' offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
On the handoff, this is Swift. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Once again, it's Swift. Room here to run. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Swift. And a short gain here down to the 22. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now a carry for Swift. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And, of course, this win a big one. They can hang their hat on this victory on the road against the defending Super Bowl champs.
And you know how difficult it is for the team that wears the crown because they're going to get everyone's best shot. So let's face it, they circled this game. We're going to go in there and take down the defending Super Bowl champs. This is our opportunity. They're not going to walk out of here with a trophy today, but they will walk out with respect around the league. And to them, that's vitally important.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Kansas City, so long, everybody.